everybody. Welcome to the See It to Believe It podcast, everybody's favorite sit by pie, sit by cake, or sit by brownie. I'm more of a sit by brownie guy. What about you guys?
I'm more of a sit by cheesecake kind of guy.
No, I'm with Ben on this one. Brownies, it's the move.
So, maybe we should have introduced everybody's. Connor's here, and then we have a new podcast gremlin.
A gremlin.
Yes, you're everyone's least favorite Christmas movie.
Hey, I'll take it.
So, we're going to try to teach you guys a few stories about the world of the paranormal and stuff that's not paranormal, and maybe something that'll get you a crush on Sai.
Hey, that's me.
Because his chaps are nice and glossed. But how's everyone doing? Like, how's
I'm
in your closet. Please let me out.
I'm not letting you out, Connor. You stay in there.
Let me out of the closet.
You're
stuck. I should be scared. Am I next?
Yes. I'm just gonna shove everybody in my podcast closet. I'm gonna call that
my tiny closet just full of us.
It's already too cramped in here, man. I can't fit Sai in here.
Oh no.
Well, you gotta make room.
I'm taking away your cooling privileges, Connor. No more cooling.
All you gave me was a candle and a bottle of water. You gave me a vanilla nutmeg candle.
Oh, you're lucky.
Nutmeg.
You're lucky. All right, so I'm going to start off this week on my own. Guys, what do you know about the real Annabelle doll?
I actually know a little bit, not a whole lot, but I'd love to,
know a bit more. What do you know?
First of all, how I originally assumed the Annabelle doll was a doll that was basically alive, but then come to find out, no, it's like a ghost doll, if that makes sense.
Okay, you're kind of right. You're on the right track.
Okay, please.
So, Connor, what do you know about the actual Annabelle doll? We're not talking about the movie. We're talking about.
Yeah. I think it wasn't it made in like Tuscola, Illinois, or something?
I don't. Is Raggedy Ann from Tuscola?
I think so. This is what I've heard in my classes, but I go to Lakeland, so.
Raggedy Ann manufacturer. We're gonna find out. So they're manufactured by the Volland Company. Where are they from? They're from Chicago. So I wouldn't doubt it if they were made in. They could have been made in Tuscola. So
possibility.
It's definitely a possibility.
But please, Ben, inform me a bit more on.
So, if you guys were here last week, you would have heard. I just tipped my head, but that's okay. If you guys were here last week, you would have known that I was going to be doing the Annabelle case because Connor and I were talking about something that must have not been too important if I forgot why I was doing.
We're talking about the Warren.
Well, yeah. Connor, I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna do a whole thing, but you know what? It doesn't matter because, like last week, I was talking about the Amityville Horror House, which the Warrens were involved in. That's right, the crooks known as Ed and Lorraine Warren. And so this week we're talking about the Annabelle doll, which resides in their home I think it's Rhode Island. What do you guys know about Rhode Island?
Nothing. It's like the smallest state.
That's too much information. So
it's one of the states where nobody lives.
No, it's got a higher population than Chicago.
But I think it's literally the smallest state by area.
No, Alaska's the smallest state. Anyways.
No, that's true.
I just realized something. So obviously Chucky from Child's Play is kind of inspired by the Annabelle doll. And if Annabelle is from Illinois and Chucky's from Illinois, they're siblings.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, for those who don't know, the doll in the Annabelle films is not actually the porcelain doll. It's a Raggedy Ann, which is a doll that's like cloth. And yeah, it's not what you see in the movies. It's actually creepier, in
Yeah.
my personal opinion. Like, the Raggedy Ann
I
is
feel like the
creepier.
movies, they almost make it. It seems like it's trying too hard.
Yes. Yeah, it feels forced in a way.
Yeah.
But so the story goes that the Annabelle doll was gifted to a nurse from her mother for her 28th birthday. And she was thrilled that she acquired this gift. And so just some extra context, there was this nurse, and then she had a roommate, and that's really all you need to know at this point. So at first they loved the doll, and the doll would just sit there in the living room, so grizziters and visitors could go visit. But after a little while, people would notice that the doll would actually move or go to the other side of rooms and whatnot. So our two women are named Donna and Angie. Okay, or Dangie if you want to give them
Ship 'em.
some sort. Yeah, if you want to ship them. So Donna would sit in the living room on the sofa, and the doll would also be sitting on the living room sofa. Then Donna would go to work, and then when she come home, the doll would be in the bedroom with the door shut. So how does that happen? Do you guys know how a doll can move from room to room?
Mm.
It gets up and it just walks to the room.
No. Anyways, Angie's boyfriend was in the apartment one afternoon. Do you know what that means?
I'm not sure.
He probably
Are they-
moved the doll.
They having sex?
No, Connor. Actually, I think you can say that on podcasts. Anyways, so Donna was out one day and someone had tried to break in. And they found no signs of forced entry, even though someone tried to break in. How do you break in without forced entry, gentlemen? Demons.
Just seems like. Oh.
So.
The pause.
Okay, so
So yeah, and Angie's boyfriend was over one afternoon, and he got scratched. He had three
Ring
bloody
scratch?
claw marks. You guys know why they do it in threes?
it's the angel number.
No, they do it in threes to mock the Trinity. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh.
Or that's at least what Ed Warren would claim. But God rest his scammer soul.
His scammer soul.
Yeah, well, I could do a whole podcast on how corrupt the Warrens were. But following Lou's traumatic experience, he's Angie's boyfriend. The women invited a medium over, and they did their own paranormal investigation. The medium held a seance and told the women that the doll was possessed by a deceased 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins. Now, the biggest takeaway from that is that in the Annabelle movie, Annabelle was actually like a 27-year-old cult girl who was in like the same sector as the Manson family. But that
Oh, so
isn't
they
true.
just completely lied on that.
Yeah, well, none of the Annabelle movies are actually based on any of true events.
Oh,
Just a fun fact for you. But
we know.
yeah, the medium claimed that the spirit was benevolent and simply wanted to be loved and cared for. And the nurses felt bad, and so they allowed the spirit to take up permanent residence in the apartment. And so eventually they got annoyed with it, and they called in the Warrens after talking to their local priest, Father Hagen and Father Cook. Sounds like sounds like some Illinois folk, but they're not. So, as far as Ed and Lorraine were concerned, the two young ladies.
You okay?
Yes.
Hey,
So
Ben's getting possessed.
I wish. So they just thought at first they just thought the doll was wanting sympathy, but in fact they were dealing with a demon. And
Oh.
the whenever the two girls allowed the doll into their home, it kind of attached itself. Because once you give a demon, once you allow a demon to take control, it will start eating at your soul. So maybe I should allow a demon to take me over. What would you
I'm down.
guys do if you knew someone who got possessed?
Honestly, nothing. I'm not in a
Wow.
horror movie. I'm gonna
Wow.
probably die. I'm the fat kid.
Hey man.
Man, I've seen enough horror movies. I know the fat kid dies first.
No, that is wrong. I would say something, but I don't want to get this taken down for something that I'm not gonna say. So
Oh wait, yeah.
so yeah, the Warrens noticed signs of demonic possession. Like the doll was moving, and there were notes left around with the mark of the beast, which is a scratch. So the Warrens called for the exorcism of the house, and surprisingly, uh, Ed Warren did not perform the exorcism, although he was one of the few people who weren't a priest in the U.S. that were approved for exorcisms, because you can't just go out and perform an exorcism without having permission from the people over in the Vatican. So, yeah. Anyways, they took the Annabelle doll home, where it's resided ever since. So pretty much the actual story of Annabelle isn't that bad. It was pretty much just a doll that had
Moved, scratched.
that scratched people, even though it wasn't the actual physical doll that scratched people. Um, but yeah, that it was just essentially a doll that got moved into a box that you can't touch. There are a few interesting stories though. Like one time there was I think it was a motorcyclist. Yeah, it was a motorcyclist. I'm reciting this from my memory. I'm not looking this up because I've heard this before. But anyways, he went over to the Warren's Occult Museum, which sadly has been closed since 2018 after the passing of Lorraine. Well, it was closed before, but anyways, there was a motorcyclist who went in there and he tapped on the Annabelle glass and started mocking it, and then he got decapitated on his ride home.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. Um, I think I've heard. So that's kind of the end of my topic. It's really not that big of a topic. The movies have kind of just blown Annabelle out of the water with all the stories and whatnot, even though nothing really ever happened. But I've heard that there's a possibility that Zach Bagans from the Ghost Adventures crew might attempt to purchase Annabelle, even though the people, the Judy Warren and her husband Tony Spera, who are the they are the people who take care of the occult museum. They hate Zach Bagans, so we'll see where that goes.
I hate Zach Bagans.
Because I think Zach Bagans has mocked Annabelle before, but yeah, yep.
Oh, interesting.
Good topic, Ben.
After doing research, I found out that this was not a very fun topic to cover. Next week we'll have a much better topic.
Next week, oh boy, it'll get pretty intense.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there's too much blank space here. So who wants to go
Yeah.
next?
So I don't know about you guys. You personally, do you guys believe in that stuff? Like, do you think that all that is like that doll was truly possessed?
No. Well, no, the doll isn't actually possessed.
Yeah.
It's just
Or
used as
that
uh I guess a
I know what you
vessel.
mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't understand why the doll is locked up if it's not possessed.
it's more of like something that they're moving around, I
Yes,
guess.
yes. I really don't believe in it mostly because I haven't seen anything like it
That's
happen
true. Yeah.
before. So
What's your guys' thoughts on paranormal and I know with our suit to believe it, we talked a bit about this, but I don't know if you guys' views on that have changed at all. Do you guys believe in paranormal in general, or?
no, I haven't seen anything really to
Yeah.
prove
No.
anything. I do
Um,
think though.
Wait, Connor, didn't you say that you thought that Ashmore was haunted? Did you? I can't remember.
Yes, he did.
I can't remember. Oh, I
I
guess I did.
said
Yeah.
I said there's a chance that Whispers was haunted, but
But you're not you're not fully putting it all in, right?
well I think the question was, do you think Whispers is haunted? And I think I might have said yes, but I guess I could clarify here. Um uh when comparing it to Ashmore, I think there is more of a chance, but at the same time, I really don't think it's haunted. Mostly because I didn't see a ghost, and there wasn't very much evidence to prove that anything happened.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Well, where I was going with this was, I don't know if you guys have ever had any situations in your life where, because me personally, I also don't believe in the paranormal, but um, there are some certain situations in my life where you just can't quite explain it. If you guys know what I mean.
Oh, fun fact: Connor and I actually opened up the podcast with one of my experiences.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah.
on the first episode, like one of the very first things that said, I said, "Hi, I'm Ben, and I was touched by a ghost."
Oh, Ben, I'm sorry.
As a
Do you wanna
child.
talk-
As a child, yeah,
You want to
yeah.
talk about it?
I'll go into my full story after
Okay,
you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You do
Connor,
yours.
have you ever had any experiences
Um,
where you're just like this, you know, you're not really putting it all in like, oh, ghosts are real, but you're just kind of like, this is a bit weird. Like, I can't necessarily explain this.
um, kind of felt that at Ashmore a little bit. That third floor where I got sick.
Oh, okay.
But that's really the only
Nothing-
time I've
nothing
ever
else.
felt it.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, for instance, I can talk about mine now. I haven't had a lot, other than like the occasional, you know, creaking through the house, but everyone's heard that before. But the one I'm gonna dive more deep into is, um, when I can. It's more of like a situation, more just hearing noises. So this was, geez, probably I was around 7 or 8, I'd say. And the first situation is we're all like me and my whole family is in the living room watching TV, right? And uh, we have like this, like our downstairs is full of carpet, and the carpet kind of from like the ground. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's a door with the door. The carpet's high up enough where you have to like really really push to shut a door. Right? Are you guys following?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Mm.
So there's no way that anything like a gust of wind or anything could move it, right? And literally everyone is inside the living room, and um, we just hear the door slam. Like obviously no one's there, and it couldn't have just been a gust of wind. So it's like something had to have moved that door. And we were like, "Yo, what the hell?" But we just like obviously we checked the house, see if anyone was in there. Didn't see anyone. So we were freaking out a bit, but kind of blew over. And then I don't know if it was how long after, But once again, we're all in the living room watching TV, and we heard like a bang from upstairs. Probably not even like a few seconds later, the chandelier that I'm sitting right under falls and literally almost killed me. But luckily, I was sitting far enough away. I mean, I didn't get touched, but like I was that close of a freaking chandelier coming down on my head, which is just crazy. Once again, can't necessarily explain that, but I'm not putting my chips in saying, "Oh yeah, I believe in ghosts," you know.
It was a ghost.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of guy, you know, but still one of those things where it's just like, that's interesting.
That's weird. It's probably
And
the neighbors.
yeah, the neighbors come and loosen some bolts in the chandelier and be like, "I'm gonna get these
I'm
kids."
gonna get this insurance claim.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's probably my parents just trying to kill me to get the. No, I'm joking. That was a joke.
I doubt your parents have life insurance on.
That's why I said it was a joke, bit. But yeah, any instances? You were talking about you were going to talk about an instance.
Yes, yeah. I have one that I'm gonna start off with one that I didn't personally experience, but it happened in a house I lived in while I lived there, from an outside source. Not anyone in our family, but
Okay.
so it was probably 2005, 2006. So it was between us moving from Westfield, Illinois to Martinsville, Illinois. So my brothers and I, we lived in Westfield, but my sister was starting to go to school in Martinsville, and one day when it was just my mom and my sister at our house in Martinsville. You guys know what.
But you guys weren't moved in at that time, correct?
Well, we kind of were, like, our grandparents owned the house at that point. Um, so like my sister like was there. But anyways, this happened in the middle of the day while she was at school. A UPS driver came up to the
Mhm.
house and points up to the window. Actually, I think it was my room at the time. And she goes, "You got a lovely little girl up there looking through the window." But my mom was the only one home at the time.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Oh.
and that was just a really creepy story. There's also been times where so Jacob and I we shared a room um, from kindergarten to second grade, and so we our beds were like on opposite sides of the room, but they were like facing not towards each other, but like like you know what I mean, like they were like flipped.
Yeah, it's been in your room. Yeah.
Yeah. So there were some nights. I know it wasn't sleep paralysis because I could move. I'll come, like I'll be able. I'll explain when I get there. But there were nights where I'd like wake up at like 3, uh, and then I just see something like standing over Jacob, and like it was just completely black, and then I would hide under my blanket because it wasn't sleep paralysis, because if it was, then I I I couldn't hide under my blanket, and then I'd take my blanket off and it'd be gone.
Oh my gosh.
But it's probably just my eyes playing tricks on me. And then one more thing. I'm not saying that any of these are ghosts. It's just really weird things.
Yeah, that's
I
just kind of where I was going with it. Was I don't think it's enough evidence to think that it's a ghost, but it's just something that it's kind of weird and you can't necessarily explain.
so I have two more things. I'll do the one that everyone's heard before last. But so this was recently, within like the past year and a half. So I was at my house, which
Oh, you're going with this.
what?
So you're talking about this.
What am I talking about?
The picture you sent me?
No.
Okay, never mind, never mind.
No. This was in Martinsville.
Oh shit, okay.
So there were people who lived in our house before us. There was only one family that actually lived in the house before us, and It was a old guy and his wife died while they lived in the house, and she was an avid smoker. And so every so often, one of our family members would say that they could smell cigarettes just randomly throughout the day. And um, I personally experienced it last year, and it was really fucking creepy.
My gosh.
Like, because no one there smoked. That's
Yeah.
like the big thing. Um, so yeah, and it wasn't like anything from the fireplace because like my dad smokes, so I know the difference between like firewood and cigarettes, and it was straight cigarettes.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and then I will go to the last one here. So I must have been like the same age as you in your story,
Hmm.
7, 8. And so one night I was I was hungry as little Ben was. Uh, so I ran downstairs to grab a Pop Tart. Like Jacob, Noah, and we were like probably playing on the GameCube or whatnot at like 11 o'clock when we thought we were being like little shoits staying up late when it really wasn't that late. But anyways, uh, I was hungry, so I went down. I grabbed a Pop Tart, and we were always creeped out by the house. But at that point, I had nothing really creepy happen to me, so I could walk in the dark without fearing much. But I got up to the stairs, and like 2 steps up, something grabbed my shoulder and like
I think you
spun
remember
me
telling me about
around.
this.
And when it spun me around, I started being like, I'm sorry. I started like talking, but whenever I turned around, there was nothing there. And
Because you thought like it was your
yeah, I
like
thought I thought it was my mom being like, "What are you doing down here right now?" But there was nobody there,
oh my
and
gosh.
I ran up the stairs so fast, and it was really creepy.
Oh, yeah, that's but yeah, dang.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess a logical explanation could have been like maybe like my muscle popped, but at the same time, it's just like
Yeah, I feel like you know the difference between a muscle pop and like
I don't
someone
know. I don't
grabbing you.
know. Like I don't know if a 7-year-old would know what a shoulder pop would be like
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
because I've never had. Well, I really didn't have many like shoulder pops,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah. I mean, if I've ever had any paranormal thing happen to me, it's that. Uh,
Okay, okay.
but I'm also not gonna sit here and claim that it. I mean, yeah, I'll claim that it was just to be like maybe.
Yeah. The Connor, no, none for you.
Not really. I had a pretty boring childhood. No real, ghosts or anything.
Did you guys, Connor? Did you live? Actually, no. This is just a question. But how much religious stuff were you guys? Did you guys grow up with?
Oh,
I mean,
I was
go ahead.
raised in the church.
I mean, I was as well. Um,
I mean, I never really went to church, but on the Christian side, yeah.
yeah, because I feel like I, it's so weird. Like I feel like if you're surrounded by religious stuff, you either experience a lot of something or you don't experience anything at all. Uh,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
and I was always surrounded by church, not church, but religious artifacts and whatnot.
Yeah, would you consider it a lot, or like that you experienced a lot of that, or no?
I mean, personally, no, but just things that have happened, I guess, in my house. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I couldn't explain anything, but that's because I don't know enough information. The only thing I can really, I've only ever really had the two things happen to me specifically. Well, besides, okay, so like the smelling and then the one where something grabbed my shoulder are the two that I can 100% attest to. But
Hmm.
even just like the thing looking over my brother, that could have just been my
Your
eyes,
mind.
yeah, creating shadows.
Okay, yeah.
But
Because there's
the
been plenty of times whenever I thought I saw something, it turns out it was literally just my clothes on a chair.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then now we go to Connor.
Connor.
Yes, it is my turn. My turn. So I want to ask, do you guys want me to go a little bit longer, or do you guys want me to keep it kind of
Get
short and
along.
sweet?
Get along.
If you want to go long, I'm okay. The longer the better. But if you don't want to go long, you don't
Okay.
have to.
Okay. So, we all make content on the internet, right? We have our Mothership series, See It to Believe It. We each have our own channels, and we make content on them sometimes.
No, they're all
Um,
dead.
Against being
Yeah.
brutally honest
Connor,
here.
Even my channel.
Connor Plays, it hasn't updated in a while.
Cy Crutchfield hasn't updated in the
Ah!
longest.
We're gonna talk about that anyways. Proceed with the topic.
Hold on, my phone fell on my foot.
Cy Crutchfield dropped a banger, then dipped.
Hey, you gotta go out. You gotta go out strong.
I bring all this up to say there is a new genre of horror that has absolutely been booming on YouTube. Do you guys want to take a guess of what it is?
Oh gosh, let me. There's so many different YouTube horror genres. There's the creepy.
What you saying?
Yeah.
Connor?
Are you typing?
No, that was me
Like-
typing.
Oh, it's like I'm not typing.
I was typing on YouTube just because I'm pulling up what I have in my recent history for horror stuff because I'm gonna say the genres that I know that are horror. So there's the creepypasta horrors that are they've been popular, like the reading, I guess you could say. Then there's the fake videos, and then there's
The fake videos. What do you mean?
like
Just like the YouTubers being like 3 a.m. challenge.
no,
blah,
not
blah,
even
blah.
that. Just like videos with doctored like visual effects and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Then you
okay.
have movie horror where like Dead Meat, CZ's World. And then you got horror ASMR, you got horror short films. Besides that, I horror Minecraft. But Connor, please enlighten me.
Okay, so we're gonna kick it back. Kick it back to the good old early 2000s. Think 2001. I know me and Cy weren't born yet, and Ben, I don't know if you were born.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
January 4th.
January 4th. Oh, okay.
Early 2001. You're sitting in front of your big TV, right? Your big
There was no such
analog
thing.
TV.
A big box TV.
And all of a sudden, a little alert comes on. Maybe today we're talking about analog horror. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Cool. I'm the only one who got excited about that. Cool.
Connor's been trying to get me to watch this.
I
thing
have
for
watched a few of them. If we had a
You have?
visual version of the podcast, I would watch it, but we don't have a visual version yet.
So yeah, like Cy said, I've been trying to get him to watch it for like weeks now. Analog horror. Let me grab the definition of it so I don't, completely picture this. But some of the ones that you might know are Mandela Catalog, Local 58, Gemini Home Entertainment, The Walton Files. All those are kind of new. Now, analog horror is a subgenre of found footage, claiming to find lost media from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and usually they take the form of public broadcasts.
Is this more like a short film kind of thing?
Yeah, most of them are, little 2-3 minute videos.
Mhm.
And then, they kind of go for a while. You'll usually have like 1 or 2 seasons.
Mhm.
But the reason why I bring this up is not to, give you a history of it. We're going to play a little game, guys.
Oh boy.
Great.
I'm going to give you a very bare bones description of an analog horror. You're going to tell me if it's real or not real.
Okay.
Okay, I like
Right.
that.
You
Like,
ready?
wait, is it like? Are you meaning like real, as in it's
It's
like
an
If it's
actual
actual
factual
video on
or-
YouTube.
Yeah, okay,
It's an
that's
actual
fine.
YouTube, so it
video
could
on
be a short
YouTube.
film. So it could be a short film.
Yeah, I'm keeping it to series.
Okay.
Series. Okay. You ready for the first one?
Wait, before that, can we have like a song, like one, like the first one, like Sai will go, then the next one I'll go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, who wants to go first?
I can
Oh,
go
why not?
first.
Oh,
Unless you want to.
All right.
Sai.
but after you.
Okay.
All right, Ben, you ready?
Yes, sir.
So, let's first analog horror. We witness the Earth crumble as we find out something sentient is living on the moon and is coming for humanity. Is that real or
Well,
is
that's
that
gotta
fake?
be real.
That is real. That is Local 58, one of the biggest analog horrors.
I feel like that's such a. It's such a. It's gonna sound like I'm ripping on it, but I'm not. It sounds like such a generic thing that it would make sense to be real. I feel like it's it's
I mean, yeah.
yeah, you guys know
Yeah.
what I mean.
It's like saying that there's a horror about zombies. Like, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, Connor, next, I'm ready. You hit me with it.
You ready?
Yeah.
So, analog horror follows a family. It's not an immediate family, but they all share the same last name. It follows them over multiple generations as they try to find out what the government is doing with eldritch abominations.
I feel like that's real as well.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is real.
Okay, got it.
That is the Monument Mythos by Alex Kansas.
Okay.
Okay, Ben, are you ready for your next one?
Yes, sir.
This analog horror follows 3 college students as they try to figure out what lives in their woods. What they find
It's fake.
is something of... Oh. Yeah, you're right. I was making that up on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Ben.
I was pretty confident in that too.
Okay.
Giving
It feels like you were trying to make up a horror
Yeah.
movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can keep going. I mean, they're all
Yeah.
going to be real, though.
Keep going, Connor. Keep going.
I like it.
Okay. So, Sai, you ready for this next one?
Somebody hit me with it.
A group of 5 college students are sucked into a time loop, and they have to figure out how to break the time loop, while also one of them is a villain.
I'm gonna go fake as well.
Oh, that's real.
Is it really?
Could you not
It's
tell he was
Everyman
reading?
Hybrid.
No, I thought it looked like he was. I figured he was stumbling on his words, and he didn't.
Yeah, that's what I
know
was
where
trying to
go
do.
from it next.
No, there were 3 words he said that sounded like he was reading from a paper in my head.
No, I was definitely gonna go
It's time
because
for
that's the
one of them.
figures. Yeah, all right, you got me. Spins up 1.
I didn't know he was
Okay.
keeping score.
Oh well.
Oh, all right. Ben, are you ready for your next analog horror?
Oh, before this, I would be. Would you guys be down next week if I did this game, but with the Warren case files?
Yes.
See, I feel like I have an unfair advantage because I literally did a research paper on the Warrens.
I
No,
do
we're
Warren
doing it
case
anyway.
files.
I do it.
Because I know. Okay, that's my thing next week. Okay.
All right, bet.
I found a little toy train in my closet. Ben's closet.
I think this is funny thing because this is the exact segment, basically, kind of thing that I pitched to you.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, Ben, are you ready for your next topic?
Yes, I'm ready.
So, Ben,
Yeah.
in this analog horror, we follow a public service broadcast of a hole in the ground. The hole is not all that it seems to be. When they dive deeper into the hole, they discover that that hole is alive and harboring something much, much bigger.
Hmm.
I was gonna say, yeah, at first I thought I knew it, and then as he continued, I wasn't sure.
Oh, that Connor, I think you might have stumped me on that one. But
Yeah.
that one, I'm gonna say it's fake.
That's real.
Okay.
That's the mystery flesh pit.
I actually did think it was real, but I thought he was stumping me.
That's the mystery flesh pit. Yeah.
Oh. I think you might have told me about that one.
I think I might have. It's one of those ones where I like it, but I'm not a super big fan of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, Silas, you ready? This could be your chance to get ahead of Ben.
No, we
We're
cannot
not
be caught
taking
up with
fucking score.
Okay, Silas, are you ready for your next one?
Hit me with it, I'm ready.
In this analog horror, we follow the story of a man named Jack Wilder Dean as he fights to fight a sentient planet that's coming to eat Earth.
See, I felt like that seems pretty real because I feel like that had a little too much detail for it to be fake. So I'm gonna go real.
I think Marvel
real.
already wrote that comic.
It's real? Okay.
That's Gemini Home Entertainment.
No, that's Galactus the Destroyer, the one that eats worlds.
Ben, are you ready for your next one?
Yes.
Okay. And this Five Nights at Freddy's inspired.
Oh, it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
I want to hear it though, because you told you
Okay.
you just mentioned there was a Five Nights at Freddy's one, and I said I wanted to watch it with you, and then we did
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So I'll tell you the name of it. This one is called The Walton Files, which this one gained huge popularity in 2021. So it follows the story of a restaurant called Bond's Burgers. As the owner goes missing, his wife, the engineering programmer, the robots, his kids, you slowly just start to discover that the owner's business partner wasn't the man that we thought he was.
Oh,
All right, Sai, are you ready for your last analog horror?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
In this analog horror, we follow the story of a world that is dealing with a certain problem, a certain alternate problem, where humans that look exactly like you are taking over. Is that real, or is that not real?
Just because this is the exact one that you've been asking me to watch for so long, I know it's real.
Fucking watch Mandela Catalog, Sai!
There it
Watch
is.
it!
is Connor? Are you telling all 15 listeners to watch it as well?
Yeah, I'm telling y'all to watch every single one of these I've mentioned.
Oh, I just want to say, shout out to those 15 people that actually gave us a chance.
Yeah.
Like,
Shout out
especially
you guys.
I've only done one thing of advert. I think that the podcast apps are actually recommending stuff more than like YouTube would. And yes. So
Yeah, shout out to all of our podcast listeners.
yeah, shout out to everybody. So I guess next week.
Actually, we're going to be hitting with some bangers.
That's right. Sai, are you coming next week?
I will most definitely be here.
Okay, so all right, okay. Anyways, so if you guys want to listen to next week's special of us talking about a YouTube series that we once tried to create and the Guess the Warrens case file, make sure you tune in to the next episode. Anyways, this has been your See It to Believe It Paranormal podcast. If you guys want to follow us, we are See It to Believe It Paranormal Investigations on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And my personal social is Benjamin Luke Reinhardt on pretty much everything. Connor?
You can find me at Itsy Boy Connor, ITSIABOIKONNER at most places.
Sigh.
And you can find me at Sai Craven. SAI.CRAVEN.
And if you guys want to help us out, the best thing you can do is give us a quick 5 stars on your podcast app. And by
First
leaving us a
5-star we'll read it on air.
That's right. Well, you know what? We'll just read every 5-star we get on air.
So there's too many.
Until there's too many, yes. We got a long way to go. But yes, if you guys want to follow us and leave us a rating, it really helps. The more 5 stars we get, the more that our show is pushed to listeners. And the more we talk, the more we walk. So thank you guys for joining us this week. This has been
thank you.
Your Paranormal Podcast. So, how you
I'm
guys
actually
doing?
scared or turned on from that.
Oh. Sorry, we do a thing. Connor's bringing back the classic. Sorry, we do a thing after every episode where we just leave it rolling for like 30 seconds, and then everything that happens after the 30 seconds plays after the end theme.
Wow. So people just heard me say, I don't know if I should be scared or turned on.
Good coffee. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh.
It tasted kind of skunky. I probably shouldn't have drank it.